Now then, I'm sure that this is a car that needs no introduction to the YouTube community because it is my Porsche Taycan all-electric car. And I've got something to tell you because Porsche are replacing the batteries in their Porsche Taycans with a petrol engine. That's right, with an internal combustion engine. And I'm super excited about it. I'm going to tell you a little bit more. But before we do that, I want you to do me a favour because I'm trying to push out there the fact that electric cars are not really the way forward. So to do that and help me push these videos out, hit the subscribe button, it's down there. Also give me a thumbs up. I'm actually at the Lakeland Motor Museum, which is a fantastic place by the way to come and visit and see some classic cars. They've even got an old Ford Capri in there, so I'll stick the link to their website in the description down below and go and take a look. Now, without further ado my friends, let's go. Now, before I head on into the Lakeland Motor Museum, get myself a cup of tea and a scone with clotted cream and some jam. Jam first or cream first? Well, who knows? Now, we don't know the answer to that one, but we do know the answer to whether electric cars are the way forward. And in my opinion, I don't think they are. And I've always said that I actually side with the motor manufacturers because they've been put into a corner. They've been cornered by the government and the government officials who know nothing. All they're interested in is trying to reach this net zero. And they're basically left with a business that they're not going to have unless they move over to electric cars. But it doesn't seem to be working. People aren't picking up on electric cars. So they're going down the route now of changing their electric cars to engines, petrol engines. I'll let you know a little bit more. Somebody's coming over, so come on, onwards. Come on then, it's quite exciting this. It's great news. Engines going in electric cars. Who'd have thought it? Brilliant, come on. I know not lots of people, not everybody has got sympathy for motor dealers and motor manufacturers. I mean, motor dealers used to have a little bit of a, well, they got a bit of a bad rap, didn't they? It was kind of an Arthur Daly kind of thing. But the manufacturers themselves have really been backed into a corner. Don't forget, they're businesses. They're companies that have been going for years and years. Then all of a sudden they're told that in 2035 they can't sell or produce any more petrol engines or diesel engines by these buffoons in the government who really don't know what they're doing. I mean, look back at Gordon Brown in the government. You know, he was like, oh, you need to get a diesel car. It's better for the environment. And then they said a few years later, no, it actually isn't. We know they lie. In fact, that's what they're known for. If their mouths are moving and mouths are open, they lie. So the motor manufacturers have been left in a bit of a predicament because we know that a few years down the line, in my opinion anyway, they'll go, oh, electric cars, not very good for the environment. And then you go back to the petrol engine, again an internal combustion engine. So they have no choice. Now Porsche have actually, there's rumours that they're going to put petrol engines into their electric cars. So like the Taycan, they will bring out a petrol version of the Porsche Taycan. And I said earlier on, and Jeff Buys Cars, if you've not subscribed to his channel by the way, head over and subscribe to him. He said that the Taycan, it's a gorgeous looking car, and that is what the Porsche Panamera should have been like. The Porsche Panamera, when it first came out, it looked like an overfed cockroach, didn't it? It was awful. But the Taycan, gorgeous. Just one thing missing, an engine. Pop an engine in it. Well, I think that's what they're about to do. And the big question is, will Tesla follow suit? And will the other manufacturers follow suit? Let's go and let's get down to business and read it you out. Come on, I'll meet you in there. Mechanically propelled vehicles prohibited. That's an old sign. What goes around comes around. Come on, let's go and get this scone. Well, this is very refined, isn't it? English tea. Got a nice scone and a nice teapot there. Now, let's get down to business here, because that is why you are here, not because of a scone. So let's read you this out, and I am going to relish in this one. So here we go. It is Porsche changes EV plan and will give electric models ICE powertrains too. So they basically said the sports car brand is rethinking its electric focused strategy and investigating how to include more combustion engines into its lineup, but it's going to be tricky. Okay, it says Porsche is adjusting its EV strategy in response to sluggish Taycan sales and rising demand for combustion and hybrid options. The automaker is looking into incorporating more ICE and hybrid options into lineups that were developed as EV only. The new 718 models and the Macan SUV were conceived as EVs, and it may be too late to easily adapt them to combustion power. Now the new Boxster is allegedly going to be electric as well, but it looks like they're also going to make a combustion engine version of it as well as the EV, which makes sense. Porsche is making some radical changes to its electrification strategy in response to slumping Taycan sales and a stubborn loyalty among customers to good old combustion powered machines. For a brand that until now seemed all in on electric, the pivot speaks volumes about Porsche's read on its buyers' preferences and their reluctance to abandon traditional powertrains. Porsche have always been excellent with petrol-powered cars. The automaker, which has publicly come out against Europe's proposed 2035 ban on combustion engines, is now investigating how it might re-engineer future cars that were designed as EVs to accept hybrid power plants. But that's going to take a Herculean effort and a ton of cash, if it's even possible. The next generation 718 Boxster and Cayman sports cars are fully electric, fully signed off, and will be launched in the coming months. That is really sad. I've had so many Boxsters with engines. I think about 7 or 8 Boxsters. Amazing cars, and they sound fantastic with the roof off. It's going to sound like you're in a washing machine, isn't it? It's possible Porsche could reverse engineer them to accept combustion engines, as Fiat has been focused to do with the 500e. However, even if they greenlighted the idea, it would be years before a retrofitted model hit the road, assuming it's financially worthwhile at all. Another vehicle that Porsche conceived as an EV, but which must be under consideration for a combustion rethink, is the flagship K1 SUV, due out in 2028. The time frame and likely dimensions of the 3-row K1 suggest it is a better chance of being adapted to hybrid power. A lot of customers in the premium and luxury segment are looking in that direction, looking in the direction of combustion engine cars. There's a clear trend, Porsche CFO Lutz Meschke said in a conference call before going on to explain how the brand is reacting to that news. We will refresh our combustion engine cars, including the Panamera and the Cayenne, and of course we will continue to rely on plug-in hybrids, Meschke added. As for our electrified lineup, we are very flexible when it comes to our production footprint. We can produce combustion engine, plug-in hybrids and electrified cars in one production line, they said. And it continued. When it comes to research and development, you'll see more flexibility. In the upcoming years, we will develop new combustion engine derivatives of EVs in order to give the right answer the customer demand. Porsche had at one time planned for 80% of its lineup to be EVs by the end of the decade. The remaining 20% would be accounted for by the 911, which has gained its first hybrid model, but was always going to stay away from fully electric power until well into the 2030s. You can't have a 911 as an electric car. It's just not going to be a 911, is it? Porsche enjoyed early success with the Taycan and engineered an electric Macan, and the upcoming 718 EVs with visions of those models taking over from the older ICE equivalent after being offered in tandem during handover period. It says sales drop challenges Porsche EV push, but Taycan sales have tanked this year, obviously with people on YouTube giving them a slating, despite the introduction of a facelifted model, particularly in the once lucrative Chinese market. While combustion 718 sales have rallied as buyers race to get them while they can, Porsche's operating profit dropped 26.7% to 5.5 billion, $5.95 BN in the first 3 quarters of 2024 versus January to September 2023. I mean, where have they actually been? They're left with not knowing what to do. Which angles do they go? Do they go down the route of electric, or do they go down the route of all petrol engines? This is the government's fault, pushing them into a corner to go all electric, and the government haven't got a clue. They never have, and they never will. And I feel sorry for the motor manufacturers. I mean, a 718 Boxster open top with an electric motor in it, I mean, no, it will be like listening to a hairdryer. Now, the big question is, where it leaves us is it jam or cream first? Well, you can let me know that one in the comments section. Do me a favour, share the video, do hit the subscribe button on the channel as well. It's down there, it is free, it doesn't cost you a penny, and it pushes this out to YouTube to try and wage war on electric cars and on this mandate that they've got, this stupid mandate. Hopefully we'll win it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It's got to be jam first, doesn't it? And you can pile the cream up.